Yeah, because for what's on there now, it's just too small.
Yeah.
Like if you're driving by, you can't. Well, you can see the end.
Yeah.
You just can't see it. All right. So today we're going over TAC recap. Logan is here in the studio. He's actually behind the camera. We're going to bring him on here in a little bit because Logan can't really talk about TAC because he wasn't able to go. So me and Cameron are going to talk about our TAC recap, lessons learned, what we would change, if anything. But first, Cameron, TAC West Virginia, TAC Seven Springs. What's your takeaway? How did you feel about it?
Bro, fuck stick, of course.
Yeah, stick, of course, on West Virginia kind of sucked, but it's still a lot of fun.
Good boots.
You need good boots.
Good boots.
Yeah.
Good footwear, especially if you're just a person hiking.
Well, how did you feel about it? Did you have fun?
Oh, it was a great time.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no matter what. No matter how anybody says about how the courses were, or this was too short, or this was too long, it was a great time.
It was fun.
If you didn't get something, if you didn't take something away from TAC, you failed yourself as a bow hunter.
Okay. I had fun just being there with like-minded individuals, and kind of the same thing we said at the ending of Seven Springs Part 2 was everybody was super cool. All the vendors were super cool. Everybody was friendly. Nobody kind of gave you the vibe that I don't really want to talk to you right now.
Even that, like besides the influencer side of it, just from like a bow person to bow person kind of personality. Yeah. There was no arguing. No one was in a bad mood. No matter how bad people missed. Like you might hear somebody get frustrated, but everybody was cool with it. Like I saw a lot of people rush shots because they felt the line pressure behind them. But in reality, everybody was cool. Nobody cared. Yeah. Everybody behind us was like, "Hey man, take your time. We're just here. We're having fun."
And kind of Cameron brought up a good point. You did feel the pressure of people behind you. However, I will say it wasn't as bad as what you thought it would have been. I know a lot of people probably felt the pressure of, oh my God, I can't miss. Everybody's watching. Everybody missed. I missed. He missed. Everybody knows I missed. We've seen a lot of videos from people who are famous YouTubers. Were putting some arrows in places that they didn't mean to put them. So when you go to TAC in the future, if you do go, don't feel the pressure to shoot a perfect shot because, I mean, at some point you're shooting at ridiculous ranges.
Or like the Ultra View course where every target was between at least two trees.
Yeah. The Ultra View course in Seven Springs was very precision based, very technical. You had to shoot over a log in between these two logs, and then when you got to the target, the two logs that you had to shoot over was actually 20 feet in front of the target, what looked like it was 2 feet.
Basically, my aiming points were always either a piece of grass or like the top of the log. Yeah. So I knew my arc would get over.
Yeah, or it would hit. What is something that what did you take away from TAC? What did you shooting at West Virginia, even though like obviously our day was cut short, and at Seven Springs for the 2 days that we were there, what did you take away, or what did TAC show you that says, I need to get better at this, and I need to do it sooner rather than later?
Hiking. Like, for us, it's not that big of a deal for now, because we're hiking maybe 100 yards, 150 yards away from our truck. Good footwear, understanding the mechanics of your body, as well as never underestimate the amount of weight you have in your pack. Okay. Like, do you have it proportioned right? Is the weight like settled out right? Because you don't want one side of your pack to be heavy while you're going up like a 90-degree incline like we were in West Virginia after that wolf shot.
Yeah, that's true. And I think the weather also played a part in that.
Oh, 100%.
Because obviously when they put the course together, it hadn't rained yet.
Yeah, but if we're going to an elk hunt,
that is true.
And we're going to be out there for 3 days. Hiking's just being able to sustain yourself for an extended period of time on your own 2 feet is important. So foot care is super important for me right now. So good boots.
How about your overall body, your fitness, your physical fitness?
Oh, 100%.
Did TAC teach you need to get better at certain things?
Yeah.
So what would that have been?
Cardio.
Yeah.
Just being able to get up the mountains. Because if I'm spot and stalking and I have to run up a mountain after a mule deer or a whitetail or an elk, and I get up there and I have a shot, but I'm and I can't breathe. Yeah.
It's over.
It's done.
It's over. It's done. And that's a good point. And I think that's kind of the same for a lot of folks, because TAC, while as much fun as it is, it really is geared towards kind of a spot and stalk style of hunt. It's just never ending.
Yeah.
I think, what'd your watch say how many miles we walked after the lacrosse course?
So both days we walked 10.3 miles. The first day we walked 5.6.
And the entire time we had our packs on, except for when we were sitting.
Oh yeah. Packs were never off our back.
Yeah. So from our
bows in hand.
So from our harnesses, which I'll kind of give you a rundown. We both had binos. We both had wind direction, rangefinders. So we weren't overwhelmingly heavy.
Yeah.
Backpack. I think I had extra arrows. I think I was running about maybe 9 or 10, which overkill. And not like, I would say total we were carrying maybe 20 pounds less.
Yeah.
And that even might be pushing it.
Which that wasn't even a heavy loadout.
Right. But over time.
Oh yeah, over time.
Ounces equal pounds.
But that's important. That's why being able to sustain yourself for an extended period of time on your feet. Like,
that's kind of.
Because most elk hunters are doing 3 miles just to get to their camp.
Just to get to the spot, yeah. And elk are forever moving animals.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd say cardio is definitely a big one. A big slap in the face when you're up on that mountain. And
yeah.
And kind of the same thing I said in that reel that I made yesterday when I was doing stair climbs at the Capitol is when you're hunting, and this is just my personal opinion, things that I've experienced. When you see that animal, even if it's a doe and you think it's a buck and it's 100 yards off, you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it in your chest. And same thing I felt when I was a cop, when I get into those scenarios, and you can feel it. Like, you know something's happening inside your body. Well, if you're not in the best shape and your body's going through those leaps and bounds and those hills and those valleys, it's going to take a toll on you.
Yeah.
And then you finally make that kill shot and you hit that massive buck you've been chasing, or elk or bear or turkey, whatever the animal is, and now your adrenaline's right back up, or your heart's racing. If you're not in the best of shape that you can be to set yourself up for success, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's gonna remind you real quick, and it's gonna humble you.
Cortisone is, and you drop your blood pressure, everything goes back to normal. You're gonna feel everything. You're gonna feel everything.
Yeah, it's
everything that hurts is gonna hurt 10 times worse.
You're gonna get gassed faster too. And if you don't have some buddies that are nearby to come help you pull that animal out, even after you've got it, you field dress the animal, it's still possibly over 150 pounds, over 100 pounds. Now you got to drag it up a hill on top of your bow or your rifle or your pack, everything else. If you're kind of like us and you got a saddle, you got to take your platform and your sticks with you, unless you want to hike all the way back down where you are and drag them back out later. It's no bueno for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree. Cardio is definitely probably the biggest takeaway as far as physical fitness. How did you feel drawing back your bow with the new mod, the weight?
It was fine.
It felt fine.
It was fine. Yeah. You jumped to 80, which is perfectly fine. I am 100% in the realm of, if you can, do it. There's no reason not to. You don't lose anything from having higher.
I'll say this now that we're on that topic. I went to 80 because for me, when I draw back my bow, which is the Matthews Lift X, the first part all the way to that wall to me is very smooth.
Yeah.
But that wall is very jumpy.
Yeah.
And I bust it every time.
Yep.
80 has slowed me down to where I don't get
It's a smooth transition.
Yeah, it's not hard to pull back.
Yeah.
It's not. It's really not. I can pull it back, and I feel like it has slowed down that pop on that wall.
And I think 75's done the same for me.
Okay.
But don't get me wrong. If you can't do 70 or 80, that's fine. All I'm saying is like, I'm in the ballpark of if you can do it. There's no reason not to. The arrow is just going to get faster. You're just going to have more penetration power.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't, or if you're struggling, go back down and wait. You're fine.
No shame.
Yeah. Anything from, this is my personal opinion from research I've done, anything from 60 to 80 pounds will kill anything in North America.
It's fair.
Anything.
It's fair.
From bison to bear to grizzly bear. Now, will you get a complete pass through of those lower poundages? Maybe not. Will it kill the animal? 100%.
Probably, yeah, more than likely.
Are you going to have to do a track job? Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
But, again, that's one of those things. Muscle fatigue, cardio. As we're pulling those higher poundages over target, the only thing it's going to do is make us get better. And that's the only thing I can say that, one thing that sucked for TAC for me was relearning how to slow my draw, slow my pace,
because you're working with a different weight.
Yep.
And I think too, don't jump up to a weight if you really don't feel confident that you might run yourself in that situation where you draw back on an animal and it makes a move and now you're sitting there.
Yeah.
Because you might not be in a position where you can let back down.
Yeah.
So
it might be staring at
80 pounds, it's going to be harder for me to hold than 70 if I'm not physically fit.
And I went down and let off too. I went to 80% let off.
I think I stayed the same.
You did 85, yeah, which is fine. But like,
yeah,
and that goes to what we're saying. Our third member, Logan. Logan's a big dude.
Yeah.
Like Logan's pushing like a bajillion feet tall.
Yeah.
And he's big.
Logan, how much you weigh?
260.
260, how tall are you?
6'6".
So he's 6'6", 260. It's a big dude.
We're still getting him started at 70 pounds, not because we know he can pull 80, but because he hasn't shot a bow in a while. His muscles are going to feel different.
He hasn't shot a bow like this in a while.
Yeah, like, and he hasn't shot a newer compound bow with a slider or anything else.
Yeah.
So there's no reason, if he is going to struggle, to make him struggle.
Yeah.
Let him get comfortable, and then we can always improve his weight later.
Yeah. So since we've covered all those topics, what would you say gear-wise that you had, you didn't need, or you could have used less of?
Arrows.
Arrows.
Thankfully.
Did you go through a quiver?
No. Never. I the entire time, both tags, I only lost 2 arrows.
2, yeah.
Never lost any in West Virginia, and only lost 2 was because they broke when they hit a rebar.
I would say I had some arrow issues, but they were self-inflicted.
Yeah, inserts came out.
Inserts were coming out, but I still didn't lose the arrows.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say maybe a quiver full, so 6 and maybe a couple extra.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 total is what I would say.
Again, we practice a lot.
Yeah.
We practice a lot. I was at the range yesterday. We just got back from TAC Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, putting yourself and your understanding of your shot first is more important than anything, because that's going to help you not lose arrows.
The gear doesn't matter if you don't know what you're doing.
No.
Yeah.
And Levi Morgan just did a video about that. He took a bow, completely detuned it, messed everything up, got a Robin Hood and 3 arrows.
Yeah. Yeah. However, in all fairness, Levi's also been shooting for 100 years.
But that's what I'm saying. Every day he's shooting.
This is true. And we know most of you watching this probably are not, or don't have the luxury to do that. So sometimes that better equipment that's tuned better is going to benefit you.
If you have never done a TAC before, take a dozen arrows.
Yeah.
If you shoot every single day, you could get by with 6.
Yeah, I would say going forward, if you've never been to a TAC, bring extra arrows. At a minimum of a dozen. And make sure before you go, you have found a place to shoot out at a little bit of a distance. I would say 75 yards. Maybe 80. You can reach and touch out and feel comfortable.
I think the only course that we had significantly long shots continuously was Sitka in West Virginia. The lacrosse course and Ultra View were both 80 and below.
I think when we reached the ridge line of Sitka, it went from like 60 all the way to 104.
Yeah, the Wolf was 104.
Yeah. Maybe 103, but either way. Pretty much shooting at the caribou. So, TAC was a lot of fun. I would do it again in a heartbeat. We're definitely going to do it next year.
Yeah.
Seven Springs for sure. Don't know if they're coming back to West Virginia. We would love to have them come back here. I don't think, given what happened here, the incident would play a role in it. The one thing I wish TAC would do better is their food options.
Oh yeah.
I wish there was a little bit more food trucks, which not technically in their control. I'm sure they reached out to people, but the food at the resort at Seven Springs was kind of expensive for.
Oh, it was fairly expensive. It was $50 for 2 cheeseburgers.
Yeah, that was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
No pun intended. Which the burgers, I mean, they weren't bad, but I would have got a better burger at Burger King in my opinion.
Oh, I understand.
Because I think our chips were also like tortilla chips or something.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like they just grabbed what they had.
Good food, overpriced, but I just wish there was a little bit more variety. And I understand the resort kind of controls some of that.
Got it. Yep. Like I said, not entirely TAC's fault, but if they ever watch this, if there's something you could do in the future, just get better food options, please. But yeah, other than that, it was great. A lot of the weather stuff they couldn't control, like the fact that it was super muddy, not their fault.
Oh, where it was soup.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I'm sure everybody's seen the videos. It was soup.
We would step in the mud and our boots would sink like 2 inches.
If you've seen our videos, there wasn't a dry place in Seven Springs the entire weekend.
Yeah, I've been drier in the shower. So yeah, we're gonna take a break real quick. Logan's gonna come on here. Logan's gonna introduce himself, and then you're going to talk about his bow this Friday that we're going to get started with?
I got a couple other things too.
Okay. All right, so we're going to take a break, come right back.
All right, cool. Logan, good to see you, bro.
Good to be here, man.
All right, so this is Logan. He's going to be our new third member of Mothman. Super excited to have him aboard. I know John is. Super excited to get your bow this Friday. I know you're super hyped for it.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be Matthews, but you know, Mothman Matthews 1-1. We're not going to tell you what, we're not going to tell you the colorway, we're not going to tell you what's going to go on it. We're going to do a complete bow build on that. Logan, tell us how you got here. How did we reach out to you, communicate, and then how did you meet me?
Well, I've known you for about 13 years. You kind of married into the family.
Yep.
We've done some jiu-jitsu together, went to the gun range together. And then just one day, got a text, hey, you like to shoot a bow?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Done it since I was a kid.
Yep.
And then that conversation led to here.
Nice. So, what do you plan on harvesting this year if you get the opportunity to?
Hopefully a buck.
Yep.
Or any type of deer to put in the freezer.
Yep.
If the work schedule allows it and I'm here and have the free time and we're not off doing our thing, then hopefully a bear. Yeah, and then just anything else that comes our way.
Nice. So I know you said you shot a bow when you were a kid. Are you excited to jump into the new world? I know it's been a little while since you shot archery. Are you excited to jump into the new world of compound bows?
Oh yeah. They definitely come a long way since I started shooting, and that's been my first brand new bow.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to be a part of that journey. I know John is. So, talk us back. How did you get here? What did you do for the past couple of years? And what do you do now as a normal 9 to 5? Because everybody in Mothman still has a 9 to 5 job. We love doing this, so we want to share that love with everybody. So, what do you do now?
Now I'm a transmission lineman apprentice.
Okay.
Work out of town all the time. Sunday to Thursday. Got lucky, kind of got lucky. Had to work the weekend, got off a day early. Got here, got back home from Virginia like an hour before I got here.
Nice. Yeah, I'm super excited to have you on board. Super excited to see where this can go. But yeah, super good shout out to Real Deal Outdoors who's let us come in on Friday, pick your bow up, get everything ready to go. So big shout out to them. We love supporting them. Yeah, John, you got anything?
Yeah. Shoot over. This is Logan. So Logan's obviously the newest part of Mothman. Me and Cameron actually talked about it for a little while about adding another individual. And not to say that we're done adding individuals, but for now, we're just going to be the three amigos. Logan, as you can tell, gives us another perspective. He's a lot taller, a lot heavier. So yeah, just another perspective. It's going to help us out. We're going to help him out. It's kind of all in the family. We're really looking forward to it. And he was kind of the perfect choice, perfect fit. We all met one day at the gun range. Well, I met him at the gun range about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. And Cameron's obviously known him almost his whole life.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be a great fit. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of cool things. Logan really only has the out of town job, so he can find us all the cool hunting spots.
Yep.
And that was another reason that we were like, yeah, for sure. Just kidding. But yeah, no, we're super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's it. See you on the next one.
See you on the next one. See you Friday.